Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, chess boxing fans from all over the world, I am so happy to be here alongside the president of WCBO Chess Boxing. This is Lara Amos. I am Matt Thomas, and we are here for the very first match in IFC 5. Laura, how are you feeling?
I'm so excited and very, very happy to see it starting. What about you?
Me too. We got a French-on-French matchup to start us off. What do you know about these two being from your home country?
Yeah, two pals. It's going to be a hard fight because, you know, hitting on a friend is not that easy, right? I mean, and they're both in the minus 75 category. They have a decent rating at chess, like between 1500 and 1800. So it's going to be a good fight. And they both fought last year at the World Championship and had incredible fights.
So already with World Championship experience, this is a professional division in IFC. So this is very much a proving ground for these relatively new fighters. And both of their first fights outside of the World Championship, first fight in the IFC.
Absolutely.
So very excited to see this matchup in a completely different setting. You know just as well as I do what the World Championship is like. It is a week-long, non-stop. You're seeing friends from all over the world. You have to fight a few of them. It's just a rush of pawns and punches and all kinds of things. This is different. This is you know what the Olympics is to boxing versus a professional promotion like a Top Rank or the UFC and MMA. This is what that is for the chess boxing world. So if you are new to the IFC, this is a great first experience for you. I love this walkout robe. We got a French jean jacket. I just picked up my jean jacket of my own yesterday in Paris.
Here, right here.
Looking very serious, very locked in, dialed.
Dead serious. I don't want to fight against him. Look at his face. Oh my God.
And
so
ladies
ready.
and gentlemen, if you do want to watch the stream with the professional production over at the IFC, you can watch it on Sardoche's channel. We have a command set up for it, !watch, !Sardoche. You're going to be able to see the entire stream with the chess, the moves, and French commentary over there. If you want English commentary, just mute Sardoche's stream. You'll be able to listen to the boxing and the chess commentary in English from Lara and I.
Yes.
All right. Our referee this evening is Volfongo. He is the head of the Italian Federation. He hosted the World Championship for us last year. He is the most decorated and seasoned Italian referee from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, not only Italian. Yeah.
He's been a part of this since the very beginning. Close friends with Ipe.
Oh my God.
And the chess is underway. Again, if you want to watch the chess, ! Sardoche, go check it out. But we have an E4 opening. Laura, take it away.
So Gabrielle is with white and starts indeed with the king pawn, and it has a very, I would say, slow opening. So no big center, pawns in the center kind of situation, no more fianchetto. So bishop, all the pieces are developing nicely, slowly though, and the space is actually taking, the center space is taking over by the black pawns for now. So little advantage of space in the center, which is important in chess for black pieces, which is unusual because you do have the advantage of starting with the white pieces and you want to take the space, make the other one feel crammed, which is not the case at all right now. But we'll see what he comes up with because, of course, he's not going to leave it like that. He's going to open up in the center. Everybody's castling. The pieces have come out right and nicely. And that's it.
Very safe opening until that D5 break. So now Pierre is inviting a little bit of action with a potential exchange in the middle. What would you do here? Would you take? Would you leave it?
It's usually recommended to leave it because if you do take, you're bringing another piece into the center. Let's say the white pawn takes the black pawn, and then the black knight comes into the center and controls much more squares than he did initially. Or the queen comes in, and you don't want to bring in more pieces. If the black queen actually takes that pawn, then it attacks one of the white pawns. You have to defend. It's already starting to feel uncomfortable if you take. So he did the right choice by not taking, I think.
and defending that pawn that would be attacked after the exchange. Very interesting. Although I do see some white counterplay. Maybe that knight on f3 moves away. There's a discover attack on that queen in the center. Now that that pawn is defended, that might be kind of tricky for Pierre to deal with. But we just see more standard development. Rooks being centered, and yeah, I mean, both of these players, I think, know from their experience in the last World Championship, first round of chess
he took
is
in
for
the
the
center.
setup.
He
there
took
it
in
is.
the center, so he made me lie. All right, thank you so much, Gabriel. All right, so knight takes. He didn't want to take with the queen, so the knight comes into the center. But it does indeed give a pawn a piece. I'm gonna make it a square,
yeah.
a square for the white knight as well. Although he's not going to stay here that long, but for now it's attacking that c pawn indeed. So you have to defend it. I don't think you want to give that one because it's a big center pawn. But still, advantage of space for black, clearly. You also see that the white pieces are not all developed yet, and they don't have that many good squares. Like, yeah, that bishop was kind of the only square he had. And it's already the 10 seconds before the boxing starts.
So we have heard the 10-second warning. That means that black has the chance to make the last move, but he doesn't get it off. So it is black to move when we return to the board. Each fighter going to their respective corners, getting gloved up. The board is being removed from the ring, and we are getting ready for our first round of boxing. Now, the way that these two match up is relatively even. This one is one of our closest matchups of the evening. So it is really anyone's game at this point, an equal position on the board. Moving to the first round of boxing, we'll see who may get the early advantage, who has managed their nerves better, come out with a little bit more of a strong mindset or endurance. We're going to find all that out in just a few seconds.
Both of them have a bit of boxing experience indeed.
We may be a bit delayed in this transition because it looks like the black corner has two left-hand gloves.
No way.
And it looks like the red corner has two right-hand gloves. So we are just fine. Just need to switch it back.
Just to see if they're in focus, you know?
Yeah, keeping people on their toes for sure. But let's talk a little bit about the venue that we're in. This, I was told while walking in here, this is an incredible, very old building that was used for wine distribution. So all these vats that are all around this building that circle us were massive like jugs of wine that you could fill bottles with and then sell. So this is an old wine storage facility. Very French, very French. And we are in a beautiful part of the south of France called Sète. The head of the IFC. This is his home, and we have hosted many IFC events here, many chess boxing camps, and gloves touch. First round is underway.
It's a lefty-righty situation.
Yes, so we have the black pieces, Pierre in the southpaw stance, and a regular fighter, white pieces with Gabrielle.
Oh, it's hard to find the right way to turn, right? You have to think, which way am I turning around in a righty-lefty situation, right?
You see a lot of pawing with that lead hand, and you also look for the battle of the front foot. So whoever steps outside.
He's attacking so much. He's giving it all in the first round already.
With how intense he was walking out, it's clear that there's a little bit of an adrenaline dump that's happening for Gabriel right now, which could be good if he lands an early shot. It could also be bad if he dumps all of his energy, exhausts himself, and he still has to go through the rest of the match. But there he goes again, a lot of hooks to the body, none really getting through. I see a lot of lands to the elbows. He gets a warning there for punches being a little low.
It's difficult because Pierre Gabriel and the opponent's name is Gabriel Lacouture.
Great lead hook cross landed by Pierre.
Oh, he missed.
So now I see a little bit of fatigue from Gabriel. All of that energy expended up against the ropes with not much landed might be hurting him now. And Pierre is landing well. That being said, Gabriel lands a good jab to keep Pierre at bay. Nice cross landed to the body for Gabriel.
Is it the right moment to tell you that this guy's name is Pierre and this one's Gabriel? So this guy's name is Pierre Gabriel, and the other one's name is Gabriel Lacouture. So this one's Gabriel, and this one's Pierre.
Okay.
it's like, oh my god, they're looking for the knockout right away.
Yeah, a lot of exchanges there up against the ropes again. I am surprised with how much energy it's being expended in this first round. And it could show a bit of the experience of both fighters. This is only their second fight, but this is a lot. Not having a big shot landed yet is a lot of energy to expend. And that affects you on the board. We've both been there before. Heart rate gets up, our central nervous system gets stressed, and it can really affect how you can think moves ahead, and how you can employ the strategy that you had coming into the ring.
The blood just goes everywhere but into your brain, right? The intensity of this first fight is insane. I don't think we've ever seen this before.
And there's the bell. Both fighters going back to their corners, getting the mouthpieces out, getting the gloves off, and getting ready to sit back down to the board. Now, this is a very important transition. The minute in between rounds is not just for the utility of switching out gear. It's also for preparing your mind and your body to be able to do whatever activity is coming next. And in this case, when you go play chess, you want to lower your heart rate as much as possible. You want to start to move your brain's bandwidth from the back of your brain, where you just were in your amygdala when you fight, one of the first parts of our brain to develop, and you want to start to shift it to the frontal lobes, which is where our brain center for executive function, pattern recognition, and strategic thought is. And that can be a very difficult thing to do, especially later in the rounds, which is why energy management is such an important part of chess boxing.
And all of that in just 1 minute. That's so hard. It's all of that in under 1 minute. That's not a lot of time to do all these things, right?
Exactly right.
Back in chess mode.
And every little bit counts. Even a 10 to 15 second head start on your opponent in the next round can lead to a domino effect of momentum working in your favor.
So
all right, the last move was
yes,
G6.
White's last move was to attack the black queen. And so, well, you have two options. Either you move the queen, which I think, I would have just moved the queen anyways. It's not the right square for it. But he decided to block the attack with a knight, which, I mean, what are you going to do next? You have to either move the queen or attack the bishop. So, bit of a weird choice, in my opinion, but nothing wrong per se with it. White doesn't develop the rooks. It prevented this knight to come on b4. I think with this.
It was already prevented
move.
though.
Yeah, exactly.
It was already prevented with c3.
I don't get that move.
I think it was a waiting move, and generally playing waiting moves in the early game or early in the chess round can be a good way to help calm down, assess the board again, and start to think. Not every move has to be the most efficient.
So now blacks have developed all the pieces. Just one rook hasn't moved. And again, pretty equal for now. Just the center is occupied by black.
And I like this repositioning of the white knight.
You see what's coming.
Maybe eyeing that c4 square and being able to double down on that that d6 square. So looking like going to trade off a piece first.
Yeah, well, he didn't have much of a choice because the bishop didn't have other squares, so he did attack it with the h6 pawn. So it kind of was the only move, but he knew he was gonna come, so he was ready to trade off that bishop pair. I like to play with bishop pairs actually. I do prefer black in this position.
Bishop pair, especially in the end game, with just how many squares that you can control with those pieces versus the knights, turns into especially in open positions, turns into a big advantage.
Exactly. The bishops have long visions over the board, and they can attack very far away. Anything, so yeah, I do like black in this position a bit better. There's nothing wrong per se with the white position again, but just a little bit of less space and that bishop pair that's gone. So I will, I'd take black here. Oh, that knight comes back. It just moved away and came back. That's weird though. White is not feeling comfortable. You can see by that move that knight f3 went to d2 and came back. You can see there's just not enough space. Now you can see it. How the black pawns are occupying the center and not leaving enough squares for the white pieces.
Now, I'd like to see white try to use this pin on the black queen. So maybe utilizing the G4 or D4 squares.
It could come indeed, but yes, of course.
And they're
it was
unpinning.
Yes, he saw it well. So White now is just trying to figure out an okay square for the pieces because they don't have enough space. So the rooks are nicely positioned, but the knight had to come back close to the king to let those rook play, and the knight could just come out later. And that's the end of the second round of
Ladies
chess.
and gentlemen, there's the bell, and we are through the second round of chess with relatively, no scars, no battle wounds yet, pretty equal position.
They're both good chess players. They know what they're doing, and they're not going to rush it. I mean, this might just end on the last round of chess.
Which is always exciting. If you aren't familiar with the rules of chess boxing, the timers are set so that in the last chess round, one fighter will run out of time. There's always a finite ending in chess boxing. Checkmate, knockout, or time running out. And in this case, like Laura said, we might be seeing a final round of chess here, especially because these two fighters seem relatively equally matched both on the board and in the ring so far. But we're about to see if that holds true in the second round of boxing, the fourth round overall. And it looks like both fighters are breathing very easily. It doesn't seem to be much damage done from that first round of boxing. I thought I might see a little bit heavier breathing, but
let's see the intensity of this round, though.
The endurance looks pretty good so far. Gloves touch, and we're underway for boxing. Again, measuring distance, pawing at the lead hand, starting to establish some sort of distance and timing. Another thing to watch again is that front foot battle. Who is stepping outside to have more of a target on their opponent? Great cross lands to the body.
Oh yeah, Gabriel is hitting nicely. I think he's landing much more shots than Pierre.
And another flurry by Pierre, mostly blocked. Good jab to the body.
I don't know if
Gabriel
you remember those
apart.
fights. Do you remember the fights from the World Championship?
Remind me.
Gabriel fought this insane fight against an Italian guy and ended up losing on chess, I think, but the opponent was so damaged at boxing. And then Pierre had a similar fight but ended up winning, which was insane. 2 fights in a row that were so intense on the boxing side, and Pierre ended up going to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah.
And thank goodness okay and willing to come back and fight another day.
Exactly, and taking all those shots, my God, he's landing so many.
Combo by Gabriel I love. 2 hooks to the body, 1 hook upstairs. 2 hooks to the body, bring the elbows down, release the guard from the face, hook upstairs is the one that lands.
Oh, he's tired. You can see Pierre getting tired already. Look at his footwork.
Already some damage forming on the face of Pierre, right underneath that left eye where that jab keeps landing. There's some bruising.
And I can see that his legs are getting tired, right? He's being a bit lazy with his footwork.
He's also leaving his rear hand down when he throws his lead hand now. He's leaving himself open for counterattacks, and we'll see if Gabriel's able to take advantage of that.
Ooh, tried for the uppercut. Oh, I'm always scared of uppercuts. I feel like it could bring you down, right?
Especially when you're rushing in like Gabriel is. When you're rushing in, your head's kind of down. That's when an uppercut surprises you, especially with very wide shots.
There's a timeout. Oh, because of the blood. There's a blood, kind of time. Oh, my God.
It looks like we do have a cut over the right eye of Pierre, or of Gabriel, so they're going to go ahead and clean that up. It is not a fight stopper, but it is something that the doctor is going to want to check out before we continue. Again, this is both fighters' second fights, and in the professional division. So they will let fights continue with cuts, but they do want to protect the fighters at all costs. So safety comes first in the IFC and in the World Championship. We don't want any permanent damage, especially damage under the eyes. Very hard to fix. So we have a doctor ringside to handle just that. We have all the safety precautions of ambulances nearby to just in case we need to visit. Just in case we need to visit the hospital again. But both fighters showing some damage on their faces. Obviously, the cut is being checked out now, but Pierre is not unscathed. He has a swelling contusion right underneath the left eye that only seems to keep getting worse.
And they're starting again. That must have been a nice break for Pierre, though. Oh, and he's bleeding again. Gabriel is still bleeding. I don't know if they're going to stop him again, but But do you think that Pierre's strategy now is to keep hitting on that target, on that bleeding point? Can that be a strategy?
It would be my strategy. I mean, that is a way to get a technical knockout or a medical end to this fight because of damage done. And it was not an accidental headbutt. This wouldn't be called a no contest. That was because of a punch, to my knowledge. And now a big counter punch lands. He's finding counters. That stumbled Pierre. A nice cross lands for Gabriel.
Oh, 10 seconds still there. Oh, what is he doing?
He thought that was the end.
Yeah.
That's one of those protect yourself at all costs. Maybe if they weren't on the same team at CHESSBOXING Paris, that would have gone a little differently.
Woo!
All right, there's the bell. End of the first round. The big progression in this round. Damage to both of the fighters' faces, and the significant injury being sustained by Gabriel. A cut over the right eye. Pierre having a contusion under the left eye. Again, relatively equal. Even though the cut has been sustained, I would still give the significant strikes landed to Gabriel in that round. I think he timed it much better. The counter punching, the defense, the movement. I think he did a much better job. I would give the activity advantage to Pierre. He keeps coming forward. He keeps throwing a lot of punches.
Right.
Not many of them are landing. And the ones that are landing are doing damage, as evidenced by that cut. But we are back at the ring, and we may, even in the first match, see a little blood on the chessboard, which us chess boxers love a good blood on the chessboard chant, which was started by our founder, Ipe, very near the beginning of the inception of the sport.
And it's White's move, sorry. So Black's last move was a side A5 pawn move. Just again, taking space, just asking White, what are you going to do? What is your plan here? Because you need to break something in the center to be able to move around. Again, not much space for the white pieces. So, I don't know, I want to play D4. I want to play that center pawn. I want to break those pawns. And you can do it, but you have time. You need time to think over it. Is it going to be okay or not? And he didn't get that time because Black actually went ahead with his own plan and moved that E4. Oh my God! Oh wow! They're giving pieces. No, because there's that the bishop is on H5, so he attacked a piece.
Oh, I see. I can't see the H file.
Oh, but actually no. But now the bishop is attacked, so it was a big mistake. Oh, it's working. It is working. So that bishop on H5 is still trapped.
Well, and the D5 knight is in trouble. The only defender of the D5 knight is the queen, and the rook and the bishop are both right down with check.
Oh no, but it's check. You're right, because I was going to say the black bishop now attacks the white rook. Oh my God, what a mess! It happened so fast. That's insane. I don't know who started to think over it, but that's insane.
Yeah, the rook is going to have to move. To your point, the bishop is attacking it, so the rook on D1 does need to find another square.
Bishop, what about bishop F3? I move my bishop. I attack your queen with my rook, and I protect my rook by putting my bishop on F3. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh no, he just took the piece. I mean,
again, I can't see the H file.
Simple enough. You're a piece up.
we have a slightly obstructed view from the commentator booth. Can you see the H file?
I see.
Okay.
Like,
all right. You commentate on the H file.
Okay, I'll keep you posted on the H file. There's a knight, by the way. There's a white knight on H2 that you might not see as well. So now, just white is a piece up, is a full piece up. No pawn as a counter, counter anything. There's just a piece up for white, which is now obviously completely winning. And they're also better off with time. So Gabriel with white pieces should be winning this at chess. But is he going to make it? Can he win this before the last round of chess? I don't know. A piece up is good enough to win the game, but not fast enough maybe.
And he needs to do everything he can to win this in this chess round, because that cut is a ticking time bomb. The worse that cut gets, the closer he is to getting this as a TKO.
So now the white piece is trying to coordinate. Yes, and white pieces, that's the advantage when you're a piece up, is that you can attack something one more time than the opponent can defend it.
10 seconds left in the round. We are not going to see an end to the chess game yet, but we have seen an advantage form for the white pieces in this round.
Piece and a pawn up. That is completely winning now for white.
And there's the bell. Wow. So,
Pierre must be so pissed.
The damage advantage going to Pierre with that cut over the eye of Gabrielle. The chess advantage going to Gabrielle with the white pieces going up a piece in that last chess round.
It's a crazy fight.
Very exciting fight so far. Advantages on different arenas, and we'll see how this shakes out and if Pierre can extend his advantage with that damage to the left eye in this boxing round. I do love Gabrielle's style in boxing, though. It's my style, too. Outside fighting, picking your shots, making the shots count, using energy very efficiently. So aside from that left eye, aside from that right eye where he's cut, I really, really like Gabrielle's position.
And as per your experience, is there like, I don't know, are there chances that the cut will be the determinant factor to the end of the boxing fight or not? Can it sustain, like, I don't know, they're putting something on it? Can it work? Can it block the blood?
Yeah, so what you see over his right eye right now is Vaseline. So what they've done is if they squeeze the cut to try to get the initial blood out, they wipe it clean, they close the cut, and then they Vaseline over it, which works as a coagulant. So it helps try to close the cut. It also makes it a more slippery target.
Right?
So when you hit it, you don't want it to stick and rip the skin apart more. You want it to slide right off.
So
there's a lot of Vaseline right over that eye. Well, it works as well as it can until it's wiped off. So if I was Pierre, I would be sending a jab right at that eye over and over and over again. And his jab side is that right side. Look, he's targeting it right now, too.
His coach, his ringside guy, must have told him, his ringside guy being Valentin.
I would be very
double
careful.
World champion.
Very careful as Pierre throwing those hooks to the body. That leaves your head open. I would keep that lead hand high, trying to parry the lead jab of Pierre.
He's showing much less intensity already, isn't he?
Yeah.
Pierre. He was all crazy in the starting, and now he's really thinking about his shots.
Good lead hook lands in that exchange by Gabrielle. Pierre trying to pick his target, being a lot more focused and concise. Good crosses land, and that's the punch to look for in this matchup. Southpaw versus regular, you want to be looking for that power rear cross, that straight hand, whatever hand is back for each fighter. That would be the left for the southpaw, the right for the regular.
Oh.
A good hook to the body and uppercut lands for Gabrielle.
Did you see any shot landing on that wound?
His back is to both of us, so it can't.
Oh, it's coming back, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe not. Oh, this is so insane. The crowd is getting crazy. Oh! He's landed a few shots in the head now, hasn't he? Oh, no!
So it looks like he is awarded a standing 8 count for big shots. Some of them getting through. Gabrielle mostly blocking them, but you see big, heavy breaths for Pierre resting on the top ropes. That took a lot of energy, but that standing 8 count does mean a lot because if you get 3 knockdowns in a round or 3 standing 8 counts in a round or 4 in a match, that's the end of the fight. That counts as a technical knockout. So now there are 2 win conditions for Pierre. He can either win by technical knockout for the eye bleeding or win by technical knockout for more knockdowns or stoppages. Wow, swinging for the fences is Pierre. Just no regard for his own defense. He just wants to do damage.
And the referee would try to stop him, and Pierre didn't hear him, so he continued hitting, which gave him a little bit of a warning, but they're started again. Oh, Pierre is tired, though. Look at that last shot. Did you see the blood on the referee's shirt? It's kind of cool.
A little squirt. Good prop there. 45 seconds left in this round.
I do like Gabrielle's boxing style as well.
You see the fatigue starting to set in for some of these less experienced boxers. It's the frequency is less, but they are still throwing and landing a lot of shots.
And Pierre has to win this on boxing because he is going to lose a chest. I don't see him coming back on the chest side.
That's 30 seconds left in the round.
Oh!
And there's the bell. So the timer on stream is a little off. If you are watching over at Sardoche's stream, reminder, !Sardoche to watch all the action in the ring and on the board. I'm dropping the command in chat right now. You can go check that out. But yeah, blood on the shirt of the referee, probably blood on the chessboard in this next round.
He has blood on his back as well. Wow.
A bit of blood, yeah.
So what do you think about this round of boxing? How do you evaluate, I don't know, if you had to give points or something?
Yeah, so because of the knockdown, it's a clear victory for Pierre in this round. So at least a 10-9 round. So let's say Gabriel won the rest of the round aside from the knockdown. It would be awarded a 10-9 round to Pierre. If Pierre absolutely dominated, which I don't think he did, then it could be a 10-8 round, which would mean he would go up 2 points in the boxing scoring instead of just 1 point in that round. But I would score that a 10-9 round for Pierre, and I would give the first 2 rounds to Gabriel.
Which round are we at? Is this the 4th round of chess? That was the 3rd round of boxing, so that would make it the 4th round of chess, right?
Yeah, so this is the 7th round in total, 4th round of chess.
And
last move on the board, F3 by White. It is black to move, and there's the bell.
Black's turn to play again, and they have started. No, they're not started the clock. Something's wrong with the clock. Oh, yeah, I know these clocks. If you click on the wrong button, then you had to click a bunch of time on the same button, so it just comes back. They're a bit weird, but Volfango will manage it, yeah.
Shout out to DGT. Make your technology better. Every chess event in the history of DGT has complained about DGT, but they're the only company that does digital chessboards. So we need an innovator in the space to make this better. Shout out to any smart chess fans. Make a better board.
Volfango made it work, so we're back in the game. Well, it's it's Pierre's turn, and again, he's a piece and a pawn down, so I understand him thinking now, but it makes him a minute down on time now, which can be a big factor in the chess part, of course.
But he wants to take it slow. He scored 1 knockdown already. He has an advantage in boxing, and the more time he takes on the board, the more time he'll have in the ring.
Playing safe with white pieces. I mean, again, you're a piece and a pawn up. What you want to do is maybe try to bring that rook on the black 7th line to enter the black space. Maybe double it with the queen. Ideally, if you could, I would put my black rook on the 7th line, bring my queen in, and try to just, like, I don't know, checkmate or something. If I could, obviously.
That is the name of the game. We want checkmates, and it does look like Gabriel has a better chance of checkmating in this match. There is a little bit of a pawn push for the black pieces. Just like you said, we're doubling up on that D file, queen coming into a battery with the rook on D1.
Now the center is nicely controlled by the white bishop, which is protected, so it's really solid. There's nothing that can happen much. Well, the black queen could actually come in and give a check, but nothing to be afraid of. Yeah, I thought that this would come. I don't think that's something. Oh, actually, isn't this something? Oh, look at that bishop coming in on E5, threatening checkmate in 1.
Easily blocked.
Wow, of course, but still, like, I was just thinking that you are a piece up, obviously, with white, but it's that white knight in the corner, which doesn't do much and doesn't have that many squares. So you are a piece up, yes, but you have to make it count. And how do you make it count? Well, it takes some time to take the knight out. And now, again, black pieces are looking much more aggressive than the white ones all of a sudden. Not that easy in the end.
Yeah, I'd love to see that knight scoot over to F1, challenge the queen, get it out of there.
Absolutely. I think that you don't have much choice. But again, look at this. Pierre's time is running down. He has 2 minutes against 4. So I think he does.
Wow, aggressive.
That is what you wanted to do with white, indeed. Come in and, oh, white is threatening checkmate in 1. Look at that. You don't see it maybe, but the black king is in that corner.
I don't.
And look at that. The rook and the white bishop are threatening checkmate.
So the threat of checkmate in 1, and Pierre has a chance to end it right now on in the boxing ring. So saving himself from a potential end on the chessboard, Pierre has basically it all comes down to this. If he's able to open up that cut, if he's able to get more knockdowns in this round, he could pull away with this victory in the ring.
He needs 2 more knockdowns, right, in this same round to win, right?
3 more knockdowns.
3 more, you have to have 3 in the same round or
3 in the
4
same round
total.
or 4 in a match. Yep.
That's going to be a lot for him, right? I don't think this is happening, though, is it?
Time will tell. I mean, he was able to score 1 last round. Fatigue has set in more. He seems to keep throwing shots with power. And Gabriel has to guard that right eye. I mean, which opens him up for other shots, so it could happen. Especially with someone like a two-time world champion, Valentin Marcel, in Pierre's corner.
Right, yes, you're right. But that was insane. There was a threat for a checkmate for the black pieces, and right after, a threat for a checkmate in one for the white pieces. This game is insane.
Very back and forth on the chessboard. Very exciting chess match. There is a slight advantage for white, both on time and material, but checkmating threats for both players. We are seconds out from this boxing round. Referee has motioned for the fighters to enter the center of the ring. There's the bell, gloves touch, and we're underway. Wow, big shots early for Pierre already.
Ooh.
A nice rear hook lands. I don't agree with that. He was saying he was using the inside of the palm on that strike. I think that looked like a great punch.
It is. He is trying to be really careful about the fighters. We do like that referee. He's being very he protects our fighters a lot. Oh.
Good lead hook lands on the eye. That is cut. Okay.
Same warning.
The same warning, but also a clean punch. I don't understand why he's giving that warning.
Do you know the current job of the boxing referee?
The current job?
Yeah, it's a fun story.
Is it referee?
Maybe it's for later. No, it isn't. He sells cheese.
Oh, nice.
Oh, French.
That's very fitting.
I thought it was a fun anecdote.
Yeah. So Pierre, definitely the more active fighter in this round so far, which he has been in every round so far. I do like the counter punches for Gabriel, though. He's landed two big hooks, one to the head, one to the body so far.
That's what Pierre has to do. He has to be really attacking, right? Because he doesn't stand much chances on the board again. Oh, I like how they avoid these shots.
Oh, very tired now. You see Pierre fighting with his lead hand down, throwing a little bit sloppier. This is when I would turn on the gas for Gabriel. I would see a little bit of fatigue there, and I would want to start to mixing up shots to the head and the body. He can't guard both. There it is, a hook to the head, hook to the body.
Oh,
and he earned a standing 8 count.
Good
Excellent
job.
I'm in this chair for a reason.
Oh, and then no doubt. I just want to congratulate you anyways. You saw that coming incredibly well.
There's a big jab, also stumbles Pierre. Another big shot glazes off the nose of Pierre. Gabriel with some momentum. Let's see what he does with it.
Oh, both are taking
big defenseless shots coming from from Pierre. He's not even guarding himself anymore. One good shot from Gabriel could do this.
I feel Gabriel
Come on, land
isn't protecting himself either. Oh, so tired.
Big shots just going wide, coming down to the waist. Big shot right here.
They're not grabbing each other. I used to grab so much.
There's no grappling, yeah. You were good at that.
I used to grab so much.
Get Laura back to that chessboard. And there's the bell back in the corners. What an exciting round. So we saw a knockdown last round from Pierre scoring on Gabriel. Gabriel equalizes the knockdown count this round, and Pierre is visibly showing a lot of fatigue. And we'll see how that affects his chess. He's already down time. He's already down material. That fatigue could come into play big time in this final round. And this is the first round where he could actually lose on time. He has less time on his clock than is in the total round. So we'll have to look at that time management as a big piece of this chess round.
2 minutes left for Pierre on time on a 3-minute round of chess. If he doesn't play fast enough, he might just lose on time indeed. You can see them both tired. The referee did check Pierre's under eye, and he seemed to say that it was fine. He just checked real fast and said...
Yeah, it's not bleeding. It's just swelling. That's pretty standard. It's hard to get out of a fight without something like that.
You don't want to get out of a fight without for bruises, don't you?
Pierre with the advantage of getting back to the board first, getting to assess the position early. I always like doing that in my matches.
Oh, I don't. You're so tired. You have to rethink about what was the last move, what's the threat. And if he doesn't see it, that was a threat of a checkmate in one again. He didn't forget. He didn't forget.
Good defense.
Yeah. And now taking back his own bishop, which was threatening himself with the checkmate. So back into White is has the
mode.
upper hand. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd like to see that knight slide to F1 again, kick that queen out, and then White is totally on the offensive.
Ooh, look at that. He brought the bishop back. Do you know what he's going to do?
He's clearing the pathway for the queen.
Of course, you know it. He's going to do a battery with bishop and queen on the same diagonal to threaten checkmate in one. And right now, I'm not sure how he will defend it. There's no defense. I think that's checkmate. Do you see anything? I think that's it.
Yeah, queen is on the wrong color squares to be able to slide back and defend.
That's it. That's checkmate in the next move. There's no way out. I don't see one at least. I think that's it, guys.
Can he even stall? I think we can have a check on the back rank as a stall move.
Nothing. There's nothing. You have to sacrifice your queen if you want to give a last check.
Queen
that's
E1.
You could check queen E1, queen takes queen, or queen takes...
Right, but then that buys him another move. The queen has to move.
Oh
Queen
my
has to move
God.
off of that checkmating square.
I think
the way to prolong this is to sacrifice the queen. Queen E1, the queen has to move back to E1, then checkmate is no longer on the board.
He's going to wait to see if the umpire gives him maybe, a countdown. Maybe he's going to wait for that, but to be honest, yeah, he does. Of course he does. He's going to sacrifice the queen, isn't he? Yeah, of course, exactly.
So what's happening there is when Volfango starts counting, it works like a count in boxing. So when there's a count, they have to move before the end.
Finished, guys, it's finished. My God, checkmate. There was no way out of it. That was insane.
Incredible show of sportsmanship from these two fighters. They are teammates, first of all. They competed, they fought their hearts out. Pierre sustained a big cut to the eye. Gabriel sustained a big cut to the eye, persevered and ended up winning. Pierre showed incredible heart, leaving it all on the canvas. Big punches landed for both fighters. Great chess on display.
Woo! It's Gabriel's first win. It's his first victory in an official fight.
Both fighters should be extremely proud of themselves, and big congratulations to Gabriel for taking this one home. Incredible match.
This is cool because it's Gabriel's first win. Pierre wanted the last World Chess Championships. He had to give up because coming back from the hospital, it was just too dangerous for him to fight again. So he won, but then didn't continue fighting. So I'm sure he wanted a second win tonight. But it's nice to get Gabriel's, first victory on.
That's right. So big congratulations to both fighters. Maybe we can steal one of them for an interview. We'll see. They might be just going straight to celebrations with their teammates. And in just a few minutes, we will be getting the second fight underway. We are going to take a short commentary break until the walkout. So we'll go back to that starting soon screen, and we'll see you in just a few minutes. Thank you for tuning in to IFC 5 in Set, France. We'll be just right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with English commentary for IFC 5, and Laura got a different hairdo. I'm just kidding. We have a brand new co-commentator. This is Women's Grandmaster. Natasha is from Toulouse, a fan and a friend of Paul, who will be in our main event, and she'll be handling the chess commentary because she's way better at chess than I am. Natasha, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm very impatient to see this match, and the previous match was amazing. Good chess, good box, and let's go.
Crazy back and forth, coming back from the adversity of a cut eye to find checkmate. Such an exciting last fight, and we're about to have another exciting fight right here. Both of these fighters are from the CHESSBOXING Paris team, so this is another team matchup that is helping to figure out who is going to be on the French national team for the next World Championship. Both of these fighters are right around 2,000 ELO, very strong on the chessboard, and very equally massed in boxing. So we're in for another treat. And there's the first bell. We are underway already. Looks like we have a Sicilian on the board.
I think it's a Gambit Morin.
Wow, we have a gambit early,
Yeah. White sacrifices a pawn to get the initiative to develop pieces. So let's see. Usually black plays with e6, d6, a6 to prevent white to play on the weakness on d6. Let's see what will happen.
That's right, and if you notice the time discrepancy, I do want to mention that Tony with the white pieces did come in overweight. And when you come in overweight in boxing, usually they take away from your winning purse. Because that doesn't exist here, and because we want to fuse chess and boxing as much as possible, we initiate a time deduction for any fighters that come in overweight. So Tony came in overweight, so he has a minute left on his clock, less on his clock.
Yeah, and a minute is very precious, especially in a KO game, like with no increment. So
exactly right, especially when you add in the complication of boxing, the fatigue, the time to think and reconsider when you come back to the board after a boxing round.
We'll see if this minute will be missing at the end of the game.
Now, does anything stand out to you so far in this position? Is anything kind of wonky or weird?
I think that maybe white should play on the d6 square, maybe trying to play with e5, rook d1. I mean, the black setup is a little bit weird. I think I would prefer to play this position with white. I don't know, what do you think about it?
Yeah, white has a lot more active pieces, and they gave up pawns for those active pieces. So that is, if you haven't heard the word gambit before, that's what it means. You're giving something up for a different advantage. You're giving up material in order to activate more pieces or control the center. So yeah, white, active pieces. Black is trying to equalize that with that bishop move. Now challenging the queen, probably gonna have to slide back.
Yeah, so now the bishop on g5 is attacking the queen on d8. I think I would have taken the bishop on c5 to really enjoy. Now I think white should take the bishop because there is a problem with the d6 square. Yes, now this is the right move. And then you play with rook d1 and e5 and try to improve your position. You try to bring a knight to the d6 square with maybe e5, knight e4, knight d6. Okay.
Caillou, welcome in. Yeah, for any of you just joining, the place to watch the chess game and the boxing is over on Sardoche's stream. So ! Sardoche gets you over there. We are providing English commentary. French commentary is over on Sardoche's stream.
Okay, we can have a look on the clock. Look, it was 6 minutes 58, I think, for white, and 7 and 8 seconds for black. So now the time difference is just, they have the same time.
It's nearly equalized. So really good job for Tony moving quickly to try to take away that advantage. Now, that would have been an advantage for him had he made weight. You know, he would have had that extra minute. But because it was deducted, now it's just equal. So would you give any advantage to either chess player on the board so far?
I think I would prefer to play this position with white. You have space advantage, you have the dark square. Okay, you have your pawnless, but it's just a pawn. You're playing for activity, so everything can happen.
That makes sense. So still anyone's game on the chessboard, and we're about to see how this shakes out in the first boxing round. I've been told that the reach advantage favors white. So you're going to see someone with a more outside fighter type of style. very long punches, wanting to use footwork to stay towards the outside of the ring, whereas the other fighter is going to need to get inside of that range, miss a shot or two, maybe take one coming in, just like a gambit. Maybe take something to be able to give something back. So we are seconds out. Our French referee is about to signal to the fighters to come to the center of the ring, touch gloves, then begin the match. There's the signal from the timekeeper. There's the bell. There's the touch of gloves, and we are underway.
Okay, let's go.
A nice jab, lead hook lands. Wow, and a follow-up hook cross lands. So about equal so far in the boxing. And the outside fighter really seeming more like an inside fighter so far, pushing his opponent up against the ropes. Fast flurry of punches. Wow, great counter cross lands for Tony with the white pieces. I don't like seeing those single shots, especially early on. For the lighter weight fighters, I'd like to see more combinations starting out, see how they move their defense, able to keep up with the combinations. Great 1-2 lands for Tony. Nice body shot lands, and then a slip underneath the lead hook of his opponent. Paul. Paul with a great slip counter has Tony up against the ropes again, not doing the typical outside fighter style. I've been told Paul has stamina indefinitely. He can just go forever. He doesn't get tired. We'll see if he holds true to that. Both fighters still feeling each other out in between these flurries, creating a little bit of distance, trying to paw at the lead hand. Showing some feints. Feints are a good way to see what your opponent would do if you were to throw that punch without using the energy to actually test it. It's a safe way to download information from your opponent. Nice hook to the body, slides right underneath the rear elbow of his opponent.
What?
Looks like a standing 8 count.
What's happening?
Signaled by the referee. I'm not sure why.
What happened?
So it looks like Paul signaled that he was hurt from that body shot, and the referee took that as he needed a break. I don't think he meant that he wanted to take a knockdown. So that's something that future fighters and later in the cards are going to have to watch. But a big flurry for Paul in the corner, showing that he's not hurt at all, that he wants to end this fight right now. He has Tony pushed up against the ropes. Paul landing punch after punch. Keeps slipping shots, landing more and more. Taking a few shots, but they don't seem to faze him at all. Ten seconds left in the round. Tony finishing the same way he started, punch after punch after punch. An incredible round for both fighters because Tony landed a knockdown that, in my opinion, shouldn't have been a knockdown, and Paul won the rest of the round. So I would either give that round a draw, or maybe a 10-9 round for the fighter that won the knockdown, which is Tony. We do see a former world champion and the man that really started chess boxing in France, Thomas Cavanaugh, in the corner of Tony. Have you ever tried boxing?
Yes, I tried. I tried.
How do you like it?
I really liked it.
Okay.
I tried boxing. It was very, very nice. But unfortunately, with my schedule, with chess and my work, I didn't have time to train enough. And I play chess. I love chess. So it was a little bit complicated.
Priorities.
But I'd like to try again to.
But if time were to free up, you would maybe try chess boxing?
For sure. Yes,
Okay.
for sure.
Good to know.
And
Are there any other women's grandmasters out there that you would call out?
What?
Are there any other women's grandmasters out there that you would call out, that you would want to fight?
I take everything.
You'll take anyone.
No, if I'm trained in boxing, of course.
You hear that, Dina Belenkaya? You hear that? Another women's grandmaster has entered the arena.
It's up to you. Okay.
I'd love to see that matchup. That'd be fun.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
All right, we are back underway with the chess.
Yeah, now this is my field. Okay. Okay, so the knight on f4, we're threatening the queen on e2 and the rook. So now the blacks took the bishop on d3. So but the more important in this position are the dark squares. So the bishop on b7 cannot protect its light square bishop. So let's see how white will play. I think they will double the rook on the d file, play on the d6 square. Okay, white is still a pawn down, so... Okay, so now the rook on d3 is threatening about the knight on d4. I thought that maybe rook d6 was a good move. Okay, nice, nice. The knight on d5 is blocking the access to the rook.
Does that
d6
lose
square.
a pawn, or am I miscalculating?
When the
After
pawn
the
on-
exchange of knights on d5, does this pawn fall? Oh, there's the bishop. I missed the
There's
bishop.
a bishop, yes. But what? The rook on d4 is going to the dark, to the king.
Threatening the
side.
king, that's right.
So it seems like white are trying to play for a king attack. And we saw that the box, I think that Paul was
Winning, for sure.
winning for
Yeah.
sure. So it seems that white has to play for a checkmate. They have to play for a very quick for damage for in black position. G pawns.
That is not what I would have taken with.
Okay, so now we see what Tony wants in this game. He wants to play on the G files. He wants to attack the black king. Okay, so now if you want to attack the black king.
Oh, king h1 and then slide the rook over.
Yes, yeah, that's right. And he decided not to exchange the rook. That's a good decision.
Right.
So I think you understood what are the next moves. King h1, rook a g1, and try to checkmate on g7.
Now that seventh rank is open for the black rook. I mean, it seems like a good way to take the c-file. And there's the bell. All right, some chaos on the board in that
Yes.
round. I mean, we're opening up the g-file. We have attacking lanes to the king. Would you give anyone an advantage so far on the board?
To be honest, I think that white attack won't be enough. But let's see, imagine someone is attacking you, sacrifice a pawn, how would you react? I mean, you have to be, yes, it's true. It can be frightening for Paul to see the rooks coming, the queen coming, but it shouldn't be enough. But we'll see. I think we'll see his reaction on the ring right now.
So maybe with perfect chess, when you're not being punched in the face, it'd be easy to defend. Maybe.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But when you add in the complication of heart rate getting up, punches to the head, anything can happen. So relatively equal position. We'll see what happens on the board, but there's the bell, and we're about to get underway for the boxing. Gloves touch, and a nice jab lands right off the bat for Tony. Tony establishing himself with a jab and a hook to the body early in this round, not letting Paul find his rhythm. I will say from the last round, when Paul can get his rhythm, get momentum, he is scary. Landing a lot of shots up against the, look, he's not afraid of getting hit back, so he's throwing shot after shot, head and body. And true to the scouting report here, his stamina is not suffering at all. I mean, he doesn't seem fatigued. He just keeps throwing punches, very active fighter. Nice uppercut and hook land for Paul. Tony keeping him honest with the jab. Two great defensive movements from both fighters there. Slipping the jab, then ducking underneath the lead hook. A nice lead hook lands from Tony. I think the referee's stepping in a little too much.
you think that Paul is getting tired a little bit now? He was attacking, and Tony was defending well. So
one thing I am looking at is how he's breathing. In the first round and through the first half of the second round, he was bleeding through his nose.
Yes.
Now his mouth is open. When your mouth is open, there's slack in the jaw, and you can break a jaw that way, having your mouth open. Your mouthpiece can also come out. So something to look at, just when a fighter is breathing through his mouth. Maybe the nose is damaged. I don't think that's the case for Paul. I think he's just tired.
And you, when you box, do you have time to analyze all of this? Yes?
Your subconscious picks up on it. The more experience you have, the more you download it. Just like positions in chess, it's repetition and pattern recognition.
True.
Fatigue setting in for both fighters. You see a little bit more stumbling, a little bit messier punches. Nice hooks to the body for Paul. Tony landing the majority of jabs this round. His jab is very stiff.
Does it look like a little bit
There's another one.
All in from Paul? Like the defense is very low? I'm sorry, I'm not very good in boxing. I'm better in chess.
No, it's good questions, yeah. So Paul has come down a little bit in volume, but is still landing way more punches. Definitely the more active fighter, definitely winning this round too.
But is it efficient punches? Yes,
yeah.
Seems so, yes.
So
Just
you
right
see
now.
boom, you see the head snap back there. The ref stepped in to protect the fighter because that was a very big uppercut landed. All right, so that evens up the knockdown count for both fighters. In the first round, what really shouldn't have been a knockdown, there's the bell. Fireworks all the way to the final bell of that second boxing round, fourth round overall. Incredible round. I mean,
Yes.
A lot of back and forth. Tony looked a lot better that round. Despite losing that round, he looked a lot better. He established a jab, got a little bit of respect from Paul, and was able to see Paul fatigued. Paul, still the busier fighter, controlling the center of the ring. The ring generalship works just the same way as controlling the center of the board. Kind of force your opponent into corners, make them make moves they don't want to make, open up themselves. So Paul is clearly winning the boxing.
Yeah, and we saw in the last seconds that he took a real advantage in the boxing with a very, very strong and efficient moves. And we will see how Tony will start the chess after all this punching he got in the face.
That's right. He took a lot of shots that round, and he is looking like the more fatigued fighter at this stage. So we'll see if that plays any kind of part in his ability to attack his opponent, because he is controlling the white pieces with a slight time disadvantage.
I think we have to remember that white is a pawn down. They have a bad pawn structure, and they're playing for a checkmate attack. I think that it won't be enough if Paul plays precisely. But okay, you just play boxing round. Everything can happen.
That's right. And to Natasha's point, pawn structure is not good for white. He has doubled pawns. He just exchanged it off his most advanced pawn. He is really banking on this attack yielding something. And right now, he doesn't have his pieces coordinated to where it's a lethal attack yet. So there's the first step towards that, doubling the rooks on the G file, starting to line it up with the king, and a good pawn defense by Paul. All right, I can't see the H file, so I need to rely on you. It looks like it's queen H6.
I think, yes, after queen H6, white wants to play rook H4 and threatening queens take H7. But you can play now with black rook F5, or, yeah, I think you have to play rook H5. Oh, what happens after rook H4? Okay, let's see if black plays F6. Can I take on G6
Yikes.
with my rook? What happens if white has perpetual check? What are the rules?
Perpetual check means it's decided in the ring. So whoever's winning the boxing.
Okay, so maybe it's not a good choice for Tony to go only for a boxing decision.
Because he's currently losing. That's a good assessment.
Because, wait, if black plays F6, I can play rook takes G6 check. If H takes, queen takes G6. If you play queen G7, I have queen E8 check, queen F8, queen G6, and it's perpetual check. Oh, wait. when I play queen e8, when you play queen f8, I can try rook h8, but maybe it's not enough. I think it will be perpetual check. But, okay, Paul is much better in the boxing. So, I'm not sure that white has good decision to do.
It's a scary move.
Very scary. Okay, f6. Let's see if Tony takes on g6.
So he's defending
Oh,
the h7 pawn.
he took.
We're
on
sacrificing the rook.
Okay. Okay, black can refuse the sacrifice and play king h8.
This is a terrifying position for black.
But I think Paul is right to take his time before
we-
playing a move.
We are about to see an electric boxing round because Paul knows he is in trouble on the board. He needs to win in this boxing round. He has already scored 1 knockdown, which means he needs 3 more in this round. 3 knockdowns or a knockout in order to win. And it's very unlikely that he pulls out that position on the board. Is that fair?
I think I made a mistake. If you take the rook, maybe you have queen h8 and rook h7 checkmate. So black should play king h8 on rook takes g6. And the position stay not. I think it's still okay for black.
It is. Okay.
I think it is still okay for black. So, but I'm not sure that Paul knows that he still has a good position. So we'll see how he will react. I think he will try to kill the game now in this round. It's his boxing round.
Yeah, if I was Paul, I mean, I'm not their chess level, I'm not your chess level, but in my mind, I don't like my position as black. I feel like he's breathing down my neck, and I need to finish this right now. I would be swinging for the fences.
Yeah, and we see it in his eyes. We see it in Paul's eyes that
Gloves touch, and immediately
Yes.
he's in his face and aggressive. Tony coming out, establishing the jab early. Tony trying to keep him away with jabs and lead hooks. Keeping that rear hand at home is important. It's where the power shot might land. Flurry of punches landed for Paul. Tony getting some counter shots in. A good counter cross lands right to the chin, but it doesn't slow down Paul. Paul just keeps throwing. He's breathing really, really well with all of his punches. Little exhales every time he throws. He has not stopped since the first bell, just punch after punch after punch. Maybe about 20% of them landing. I'd like to see less punches and stronger punches. I'd like to see him try to do some damage with these instead of small, quick shots. I'd like to see some big overhand rights, some rotations of the hip, some misses and counters just like that. A nice trick there, holding the back of the head, bringing him down into an uppercut. Referee getting in the way a bit there. A nice slip cross lands for Paul. Overhand right lands for Paul. What if that had more power? Could that have been the end? Nice cross lands for Tony, keeping Paul at bay. Paul's showing some signs of fatigue now. Right hooks coming just wide. Another lead hook lands for Tony. Tony showing fatigue as well. Defense so far holding true for Tony. Paul unrelenting, keeps coming forward, keeps striking. Tony just getting enough counters in for the ref not to step in, doing a great job staying active. Great cross lands for Tony.
it's like a giving, taking. I give you, but you give me back.
That's right, big trades. Nice slip, would have seen a stronger uppercut or left hook back. Good head movement by both fighters.
Okay.
So we just scored a knockdown for Paul. After a standing 8 count, Tony is prepared to continue. Guard is up, we are back to it. That is 2 knockdowns for Paul. He needs 2 more, and it could be fight over. Good jab and cross land for Tony, but Paul landing more of the punches. There's the 10-second bell. Big right hand lands for Tony. It looks like he's going to survive this round, but Paul doesn't want to let it happen. Paul keeps throwing all the way to the bell. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Another win of a round for Paul, but will it be enough to solidify the match? I don't know. White's attack on the board is scary, and we're about to go back to chess.
Okay, so now after this finish of this round, Paul has to take on a decision. Should I take on g6, the rook on g6, or should I hide my king? Will it be enough? I don't say lucid. Do you say lucid in English?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Okay. What he will do? I think you have to calculate that if you take on g6, you're checkmate in 2 moves, but he's 2000 rated, so he should see it. But normally, if you just play chess, you see it. But with the boxing, round, I'm not sure at all.
It can blind you. The part of your brain you use when you box is not the part of your brain you want to use when you play chess. The part of your brain that you use when you box is your amygdala. It controls all your present tense actions. It's fight, flight, or flee. It's all right now. Chess, you want to be thinking moves ahead. Can he checkmate me in 3 moves, 5 moves? If you're using your amygdala, you're blind to anything that can happen beyond right now.
He took on g6. His checkmate. This is finish.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's the finish. Tony.
Crazy. Completely crazy.
With the kill shot on the board, a big hug, raise of hands, good sportsmanship from both fighters. Paul, an incredible boxer, incredible stamina, really made Tony work for it, but Tony in the end, victorious on the board and landed some really incredible jabs and counter right crosses to keep Paul at bay and to not get knocked out before he could deliver checkmate. What an incredible match, and that makes 2 on the night, both from Paris Chess Boxing, and both, there it is, hand raised, both incredible matches.
Yes, we're having an amazing night. I mean, the boxing was very exciting, and the chess, Tony sacrificed a pawn in the opening, and then he damaged his pawn structure to get an attack, and he finished by a rook sacrifice on g6. And it was very difficult for Paul when he came back from this amazing round on the ring. Like, he played the easiest move. He took on g6, but it was checkmate in 2. It's so difficult. I don't know how you do when you're...
And maybe if he wasn't as fatigued, he would have been able to calculate and see a way out. But the simplest option, didn't think that many moves ahead and fell into checkmate. But both of these fighters have incredible futures in chess boxing. Around 2,000 ELO, both showing incredible skill in the ring. I'm really excited to see these fighters progress because they're still early in their careers. We are going to be taking a break for a halftime show. There will be music. You may go check that out over on Sardoche's channel, !Sardoche. It's already in chat. You can check that out. And we will be back with English commentary after the halftime show. We have 3 more exciting matches coming from IFC 5. Natasha, where can people find you if they want to follow your chess career or follow you on social media?
So I'm on X. I am also on Twitch, but I had to stop a little bit because of my chess tournament and my work. But no worries, if you want to follow me, you will find me.
Great. Well, we hope you come back to Twitch. Twitch is a good time, especially for chess streamers.
I miss it.
Yeah, so maybe when time frees up, you can get in the boxing ring too. Would love to see that Dina Belankaya matchup. And thanks for joining me on English commentary. Hopefully we can do it again sometime soon.
I hope you understand everything.
All right, we'll be back. Again, go watch over on Sardoche's channel. We'll be back for the 3rd IFC 5 match of the night. Thanks for tuning in. Stick around. The best fights are yet to come. We'll see you in just a bit.